You gotta make a decision today. You either put in the work now, or you'll live with the regret later. This ain't just about working hard. This is about sacrificing comfort for greatness. It's about telling your excuses they don't live here anymore. While they're sleeping, you grind. While they're watching Netflix, you grind. While they're partying, relaxing, talking, giving up, you grind. Because every tear you avoid now by being lazy, every shortcut you take, every time you say, I'll do it later, that pain is waiting for you. Don't feel it now. You will feel it later. You will feel it later. You either pay the price of discipline or the price of regret. And I promise you, regret is way more expensive. Stop acting like you got forever. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment that won't come. The grind don't care about your feelings. Don't care how tired you are, how unfair life is, or what happened yesterday. All it cares about is, did you show up or not? Some of you want the rewards, but you don't want the hustle. You want the dream, but not the sacrifice. You want the glory without the grind. But let me tell you this, if you don't suffer for your goals now, your goals will become your suffering. You gotta stop playing safe. Grind like you're broke. Grind like your future depends on it, because it does. The clock is ticking. Every second you waste today is stealing from your tomorrow. Look yourself in the mirror and ask, do I want to grind now or cry later? Because either way, pain is coming. You just get to choose what kind. You think discipline is hard? You think waking up early, grinding when you're tired, pushing through when you don't feel like it is painful? Tell you something real, regret hurts way worse. Discipline is heavy, yeah, but regret is crushing. Regret keeps you up at night, replaying all the moments you chose comfort instead of commitment. It's the voice in your head years from now saying, you could have been more, but you didn't choose to be. See, discipline is the pain that leads to growth. It's the price you pay now so you don't have to cry later. But most people don't want to pay it. They want easy. They want results without sacrifice. They want to win without sweat. But that's not how life works. That's not how champions are made. Discipline is temporary. It's seasonal. It's a few hours of sacrifice, a few months of focus, a few years of work, but the reward can last a lifetime. Meanwhile, regret is permanent. You don't forget regret. You carry it like a shadow. Let's get this straight. It's gonna hurt either way. It's either the pain of discipline today or the pain of regret tomorrow. So which one are you choosing? Because you don't get to skip the pain. You just get to pick what kind it is. You think you're avoiding pain when you skip the workout, sleep through the alarm, or waste another day doing nothing productive. But really, you're just stacking regret. Every excuse you make today becomes a brick in the wall between you and your dream. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you're handing your future over to laziness. You don't need more time. You need more intensity. You need to stop babying your feelings and start feeding your future. Discipline is the difference between people who want it and people who get it. That's why I say grind now or cry later. If you push through the grind today, if you do what you don't feel like doing, if you ignore the distractions, if you go harder than you ever had before, then tomorrow you win. Tomorrow you win. Tomorrow you walk into the life you built. You look back and say, that pain was worth it. That sweat paid off. But if you skip the grind, if you sleep on your purpose, you're gonna wake up to a nightmare. One day you'll watch someone else living the life you dreamed of. It won't be because they were luckier than you. It'll be because they were more disciplined than you. They showed up when you didn't. They worked when you were resting. They pushed when you quit. And now they're winning and you're regretting. You're crying not because life was unfair, but because you were unfaithful to your grind. Discipline means doing no one's watching. It means staying up late, waking up early, saying no to fun so you can say yes to freedom later. It's skipping short-term pleasure for long-term power. But people don't want that. They want comfort now, but then they act surprised when they're broke, depressed, or stuck in the same place year after year. That's not bad luck. That's bad discipline. Listen, when it hurts, you're not failing, you're building. Every rep in the gym, every late night study session, every minute you spend improving instead of escaping. That's not punishment. That's preparation. Discipline doesn't destroy you. It develops you. It toughens you up, strengthens your mind, locks in your focus. The more disciplined you become, the less distracted you are. You stop chasing approval. You stop needing motivation. You start moving like a warrior on a mission. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's necessary. You will cry in this journey. The question is, do you want to cry from exhaustion while chasing your dream, or cry from frustration watching it slip away? Because tears are part of the process either way. The only difference is whether those tears are from grinding or from grieving over what you lost because you weren't willing to pay the price. So don't let this moment slip. Don't waste another day talking about what you're gonna do. Do it. Do it. Be about it. Discipline is temporary. One day the pain will fade, the hard days will pass, and you'll stand in a place you only used to imagine. But if you quit, if you keep choosing easy, that regret is gonna stick to you like glue. It's gonna hurt more than anything discipline ever could. Grind now or cry later. You say you want success, but you're scared to step outside your comfort zone. You wanna rise, but you don't wanna leave what's familiar. It's the problem. Too many people wanna win, but they don't wanna get uncomfortable. They wanna grow, but they don't wanna stretch. They want greatness, but they don't wanna suffer. And I'm here to tell you, you can't have both. You don't get to stay comfortable and live an extraordinary life. You don't get to chill and still conquer. It doesn't work like that. Growth starts where comfort ends. Every dream you've ever had, every goal you've written down, every vision you've imagined for yourself, it's all outside your comfort zone. You'll never become who you're meant to be by staying where you've always been. Comfort zones are killers. They don't kill you all at once. They kill you slowly, one excuse at a time. One skipped workout at a time. One missed opportunity, one delayed decision, one maybe tomorrow at a time. Until one day you look around and realize years have passed and you're still stuck in the same place. Still afraid to take the leap. Still clinging to routines that keep you average. Still settling for less than what you're capable of. People think comfort is safety, but it's not. Comfort is the trap. It's the illusion. It makes you feel okay with mediocrity. It tells you it's fine to coast. It whispers that you've done enough. But deep down, you know that's a lie. You know there's more in you. You know you were built for something greater. And the only thing standing in your way is your fear of being uncomfortable. You want to know why successful people look different? Why they walk different, talk different, live different? It's because they made peace with pain. They made friends with discomfort. They learned how to push through, not pull back. While others were running from the fire, they walked straight into it. They understood the truth. That growth is forged in fire. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's hard. When you're tired, but you keep going. When you're scared, but you move anyway. When you don't feel like it, but you show up regardless. That's where greatness is born. Not in comfort, but in challenge. The gym ain't comfortable. Waking up at 4 a.m. ain't comfortable. Saying no to distractions ain't comfortable. But do you know what is comfortable? Regret, laziness, excuses. And guess what? Comfort now leads to discomfort later. You either face the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment, but one way or another, you're gonna feel something. So stop chasing comfort. Stop trying to feel good all the time. You're not here to be entertained. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to evolve. You're here to break limits. You're here to take the life you were given and stretch it, mold it, grow it into something powerful. But that's only gonna happen when you get comfortable being uncomfortable. Most people don't reach their full potential because they can't handle the tension that comes with transformation. They give up the moment it gets tough. They retreat as soon as it feels different. But I need you to flip that switch. I need you to lean into the discomfort. Embrace it. Let it shape you. Let it break you and rebuild you stronger. Because every time you push through what scares you, you get better. Every time you do what's hard instead of what's easy, you level up. The pain you feel today becomes the strength you carry tomorrow. It doesn't matter how slow you move. What matters is that you're moving forward, upward, through the resistance. Look, I'm not saying you got to go from 0 to 100 overnight, but you do have to take that first step. You do have to make that hard choice. You do have to stop choosing what feels good and start choosing what gets results. The path to greatness is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. That's how you know it's the right path. Comfort zones were never meant to be your permanent address. They're just a place to rest before you rise. Don't stay there. Don't build a life there. Because if you do, your dreams will die there. And that's a pain you don't want to feel. You don't want to wake up one day and realize you traded your potential for peace of mind, that you gave up greatness for convenience. So break the cycle, smash the routine, step into the unknown, step into the grind. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be worth it. Because when you get uncomfortable enough times, that becomes your new standard. You start doing things most people won't do, and that's how you get results most people will never have. So the next time life makes you choose comfort or a challenge, you better know what's really at stake. Don't let fear keep you average. You were built to go beyond. You were born to grind. The grind. And that grind starts when comfort ends. Excuses sound good when you're saying them. They sound like truth. They sound like reason. They sound like logic. But excuses don't build legacies. Excuses don't make you money. Excuses don't get you in shape, don't get you the degree, don't get you that promotion, don't help you feed your family or reach your destiny. Excuses are the language of average. Excuses are the mask that fear wears when it doesn't want to, it's scared. You tell yourself you're tired. That is too late. That's too hard. That you don't have the resources, the support, the luck, the talent. And maybe that makes you feel better for a moment, but where does it leave you? Still behind, still empty, still stuck, because the grind doesn't care how you feel. Life doesn't slow down because you had a bad day. Success doesn't bend the rules for your emotion. The world keeps moving, with or without you. You want to know what separates the winners from the quitters? That's not talent. It's not talent. It's not opportunity. It's not background. It's the mindset. It's that fire inside that says, a no excuse is big enough to stop me. It's the decision to show up regardless. To grind even when your body screams no. To push even when your mind says it's enough. Because let me tell you, your grind must be louder than your excuses. You want to change your life? Drown the noise. Silence that inner voice that keeps giving you permission to stop. When you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is I don't want it bad enough. Because we make time for what matters. You'll binge watch a series for hours. You'll scroll through your phone all day. But the moment it's time to work on your craft, study, train, write, build, suddenly you're too tired, too busy, too distracted. That's not the truth. That's your excuse talking. I've seen people with no legs climb mountains. I've seen people grow up in broken homes, become world changers. I've seen people rise from addiction, poverty, trauma, and dominate life. Why? Because they stopped giving power to their excuses. They stopped waiting for the perfect conditions. They showed up, broken and all, and they worked. They bled. They grinded. And now the same world that doubted them watches them shine. Every time you make an excuse, you're handing your power away. You're telling your goals you don't matter that much. You're telling your future self, I'm sorry, but comfort is more important than you. And that's not okay. That's betrayal. Not to anyone else. To yourself. And self-betrayal will eat you alive. You say, I'm not motivated. Let me tell you something. Motivation is a luxury. It's not reliable. It's not consistent. Discipline is what you need. What you need. Discipline says, I do it whether I feel like it or not. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the flame that burns long after the spark is gone. If you only move when you're motivated, you'll never finish anything worth starting. The grind isn't about how you feel. It's about who you say you want to become. Do you want it or not? That's the question. Because if you want it, if you really want it, your actions will show it. Not your posts, not your words, not your talk. Your grind will prove it. Your habits, your consistency, your effort, your hustle. Every day you either feed the excuse or feed the purpose. But you can't serve both. You think champions feel like champions every day? You think they wake up full of energy, full of joy, full of willpower? No. They wake up tired. They wake up sore. They wake up frustrated. But they wake up anyway. They lace up anyway. They grind anyway. Because the grind is louder than the excuses. The mission is louder than the pain. The vision is louder than the obstacles. You want to be respected? Grind. You want to be unstoppable? Grind. You want to be unstoppable? Grind. You want your family to be proud? Grind. You want your future self to say a thank you? Then silence every excuse and let your work do the talking. Let your results shut down the noise. Let your success be the answer to every doubt, every fear, every obstacle they ever tried to tell you can. Because the truth is, you can. But you won't if your excuses keep winning. Every day is war. And the battlefield is your mind. It's your choices, it's your effort. You got two voices in your head, one pushing you forward and one trying to hold you back. Which one are you feeding? Grind louder? Push harder. Show the world and yourself that you weren't made to be average. You were made to rise. You were made to dominate. And the only thing standing between you and everything you want is every excuse you keep allowing to live rent-free in your life. Kick them out. Replace them with action and never let them speak louder than your grind again. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to shine. Everybody wants the rewards, but nobody wants to sacrifice. Nobody wants to give up comfort. Nobody wants to bleed for it. But I'm here to tell you, success doesn't come without sacrifice. You don't stumble into greatness, you fight for it. You grind for it, you suffer for it. And every single thing you give up, every sacrifice you make becomes the seed that produces your victory. You don't plant a seed and expect a tree the next day. No, you water it, you protect it. You keep showing up, day after day, even when there's no sign of growth. That's sacrifice. That's what builds character. That's what builds strength. That's what separates the people who talk from the people who take action. While everybody else is wasting time chasing pleasure, the disciplined ones are in the shadows planting seeds, sacrificing now so they can reap the harvest later. When you say no to sleeping in, that's a seed. When you say no to the party so you can study, practice, or work, that's a seed. When you say no to distractions, when you shut off your phone, when you cut out toxic people, those are seeds. Every time you delay gratification, every time you trade what feels good right now for what you know will move you forward later, you are investing in your future. But most people want this shortcut. They want to enjoy now and win later. It doesn't work like that. If you party now, you'll pay later. If you rest now, you'll regret later. You either sacrifice for your dreams or your dreams become the sacrifice. There is no way around the work. You got to give something up to go up. You got to say no to average if you ever want to live above average. I get it. Sacrifice is hard. It hurts. It's lonely. It feels like everyone else is having fun while you're grinding in silence. But hear me when I say this. They're playing now, but they'll be crying later. You're sacrificing now, but you'll be celebrating later. Don't be fooled by temporary pleasure. Don't be distracted by what looks good right now. Look ahead. Keep your eyes on the prize. Because when you finally taste success, all those lonely nights, all those missed hangouts, all those moments of doubt, they won't matter. All that will matter is that you didn't quit. You think Kobe didn't sacrifice? You think Serena didn't sacrifice? You think Elon Musk, Oprah, Eric Thomas, you think they got where they are without giving something up? No. They sacrificed sleep, comfort, time, energy, social lives. They gave up things most people are addicted to, and they did it willingly because they saw what others couldn't see, a future worth fighting for. And that's what you got to do. You got to lock in so hard that your future means more to you than your present. You can't have success and convenience at the same time. You can't keep all your comforts and still rise to the top. At some point, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, am I willing to give up what's easy for what's earned? Because the grind will cost you something. It will cost you something. It will cost you weekend. It will cost you some relationships. It will cost you ego, but it will never cost you more than the pain of regret. That's the real price. Looking back and wishing you had sacrificed more. And the beautiful thing is this, every sacrifice you make, every moment you choose growth over gratification, it multiplies, it compounds, it builds something in you. It creates a version of you that can't be stopped, that doesn't fold under pressure, that doesn't break when life hits hard. That version of you is waiting. But you won't meet that version if you keep choosing ease over effort. So stop asking, what do I have to give up? And start asking, what am I willing to trade for greatness? You want to start a business? Trade your free time. You want a powerful relationship? Trade the distraction. You want spiritual growth? Trade the laziness. Whatever you want, there's a price tag and a currency, sacrifice. Every time you stay up a little later to get it done, every time you rise earlier than everyone else to grind, every time you say no when it would have been easier to say yes, you're proving that you're not just dreaming, you're doing. You're not just talking about it, you're about it. You're about it. And in the end, when the harvest comes, when the results show up, when the world starts asking you, how did you do it? You'll smile because you'll know the truth. You sacrificed for it. It was worth it. You say you want result. You say you want change. You say you want success. But here's the hard truth. You can't have results and excuses. You can't hold on to both. You can't keep making excuses and expect to win. At some point, you have to choose. You have to make a decision. Do you want to keep justifying where you are? Or are you ready to push for where you could be? Because the two don't mix. You can't grind and make excuses at the same time. It's one or the other. Every time you make an excuse, you're buying into your own limitations. You're telling yourself a story. And the worst part is you believe it. You believe you don't have time. You believe you don't have the resources. You believe you're too tired, too broke, too unprepared, too alone. But guess what? That story you keep telling yourself is the cage that's keeping you locked down. And the only way to get out is to stop feeding it. Starve the excuses. Feed the results. You've got to stop looking for sympathy and start building systems. Stop asking for permission and start making progress. Nobody's going to come hand it to you. Nobody's going to chase you down and beg you to become the best version of yourself. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And every day you choose excuse over execution, you're choosing to stay stuck. There are no results without effort. There's no transformation without grind. You don't get to show up once in a while, half focused, half invested, and expect to win. This ain't a part-time effort kind of life. You want real change? You want real success? Then you have to go all in. And going all in means cutting off the excuses at the root. It means when things get hard, you don't look for a way out. You find a way forward. People say they want results, but they won't change their habits. They say they want to win, but they keep quitting the moment it gets uncomfortable. They talk a big game, but when it's time to execute, they disappear. That's why I say you can't both. You can either keep the reasons why you're not where you want to be, or you can decide right now that those reasons don't get to control you anymore. You want results? Then own your decision, own your effort, own your outcome, own your outcome. If you don't like what you're getting, change what you're giving. Stop blaming your circumstances. Stop pointing fingers at your past. Stop saying I can't when what you really mean is I won't. It's not your lack of resources. It's not your lack of time. It's your lack of resolve. There are people out there who came from nothing, no support, no guidance, no safety net, and they still made it happen. You know why? Because they stopped using their past as a pillow and started using it as fuel. They took every reason why they shouldn't make it and they flipped it. They turned pain into power, setbacks into setups, losses into lessons. And now they're living what they once only dreamed. You can do the same, but only if you stop letting excuses write your story. Because every time you choose an excuse, you delay your results. Every time you say, or maybe tomorrow, you push your dreams one more day out of reach. Every time you compromise, every time you let yourself off the hook, you're building a habit. And habits become patterns. And patterns become your life. So ask yourself, are the choices you're making every day building the life you want or the one you'll regret? You don't get to keep your excuses and have your dream body. You don't get to keep your excuses and build your business. You don't get to keep your excuses and become the best version of yourself. One of them has to go. And if you're serious, if you're really committed, then it's time to let the excuses die. Excuses feel good in the moment. They protect your pride. They keep you from facing your fears. But they don't get you anywhere. You know what does? Action, consistency, sacrifice. Showing up even when you're tired. Focused even when it's hard. Committed even when it's lonely. That's what gets results. So if you want to change your life, change your choices. Stop negotiating with your excuses. They've lied to you long enough. They've robbed you of time, confidence, and progress. Let today be the day you draw the line. No more reasons why not. Just reasons why you must. Why you will. Why nothing, not fear, not fatigue, not failure is going to stop you. Because once you make that shift, once you let go of the stories and start writing new ones with your actions, the results come. Slowly at first, then all at once. And when they do, when you look back at how far you've come, you'll realize the truth. You never needed the excuses. Cats, you only ever needed the grind. Pain is part of the process. If you think you can reach your goals without it, you're dreaming. If you think you can become great without going through the fire, you're lying to yourself. every champion, every winner, every successful person you admire. Not around it, not away from it, through it. Because pain is the price of growth. Pain is the tuition you pay for greatness. Most people run from pain the moment it gets uncomfortable. The moment it starts to hurt, they back down, they slow up, they quit. But you can't be one of those people. If you're serious, if you really want to win, you've got to stop avoiding the pain and start embracing it. Because that pain, that's not a punishment. That's preparation. That's growth. That's your next level knocking. When your muscles ache in the gym, when your brain feels fried after hours of grinding, when your heart feels heavy because you're chasing something that no one else believes in, that's pain. Yeah, but that's good pain. That's growth pain. That's pain with a purpose. It means you're evolving. It means you're stretching. It means you're no longer standing still. You got to change the way you see pain. Most people think pain is the enemy, but in reality, pain is your best friend when you're chasing something big. Pain shows up to test your commitment, to see if you really mean what you said. You said you wanted to be successful. You said you were willing to go all in. Well, guess what? Pain heard you. And now it's knocking at your door asking, do you still mean it? And this is where most people fail. Not because they didn't have talent, not because they didn't have time, but because they couldn't handle the pain that came with the process. They weren't built for the pressure. They didn't train their mind to push through when it got hard. So when life punched them in the mouth, they stayed down. But you're not staying down. You're getting up. You're pushing back. You're using that pain as fuel. Because the truth is, you run from pain now, you'll feel a different kind of pain later. The pain of regret. The pain of missed opportunities. The pain of knowing you were capable of more, but you let the moment slip. That pain is worse. It lasts longer. It hits deeper. You don't get over regret easily. But the pain of discipline, that pain is temporary. It hurts now, but it pays off forever. You want to be strong? Embrace the resistance. You want to be smarter? Embrace the struggle. You want to be legendary? Embrace the sacrifice. Because every tear you cry on the way to your goal is watering your success. Every setback you face is shaping your mindset. Every failure you endure is teaching you something no book ever could. Stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop praying that the storm passes. Learn how to fight in the rain. Learn how to grind through the fatigue. Learn how to carry the weight of your dream even when your back is breaking. That's how you grow. That's how you become unbreakable. People ask me, how do I know if it's worth it? Because if it costs you pain, it's probably worth it if it demands your full focus, if it breaks your comfort zone, if it keeps you up at night thinking about it. That's the goal you chase. That's the mountain you climb. And yes, it's gonna hurt. But what you build in that process will make you unstoppable. You've got to stop thinking pain is something to be feared. Pain is your workout partner. It's your coach. It's your mentor. It doesn't show up to destroy you. It shows up to develop you, to teach you how to survive, to show you what you're really made of. Because it's in those painful moments, when you're tired, when you're doubting, when you're questioning everything, that you discover your true strength. You don't grow in comfort. You grow in resistance. You grow in struggle. You grow when you do the thing you didn't think you could do. That's what makes the victory mean something. That's what gives the success its value. Without the pain, it wouldn't matter. Without the grind, it wouldn't be real. So don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Use it. Feel every bit of it. And let it sharpen you. Let it fuel you. Let it mold you into the kind of person who doesn't just survive pain, but thrives in it. Because when you learn to walk through the fire and keep moving, nothing can stop you. You won't be the one who folds under pressure. You'll be the one who grows in it. You'll be the one who turns pain into power. You keep waiting to feel ready. You keep waiting for motivation to hit you like a lightning bolt. You keep waiting for that perfect moment when everything lines up, when you're inspired, when it all feels right. Let me tell you something. That moment is a myth. That moment isn't coming. And if it does, it's not coming often enough to depend on. If you only show up when you're motivated, you'll never be consistent. You'll never be disciplined. You'll never be great. Because greatness doesn't answer to your feelings. Greatness answers to your grind. Motivation is a spark, not a strategy. It's that quick burst of fire, that temporary adrenaline rush, but it's not sustainable. It won't carry you through the days when you're exhausted, It won't carry you through the days when you're doubting yourself, when the work feels heavy, when the world feels like it's pressing in on you. That's when most people fold because they built their effort around their emotions. But you're not most people. If you want to stand out, if you want to win, if you want to dominate your space, then you got to learn how to move without motivation. You got to grind anyway. You think champions are motivated every day? You think they wake up full of passion, ready to train, ready to execute, ready to perform at their highest level every single morning? No, there are days they feel tired, days they feel defeated, days they feel broken, but they show up because they made a decision that their goals were bigger than their feelings, that their mission mattered more than their mood. And that's what you have to do. You gotta operate on commitment, not on comfort. You wake up and don't feel like working. Work anyway. You're not in the mood to study. Study anyway. You're not inspired to create, to build, to push forward. Push anyway. Because the people who get ahead are the people who understand that feelings are fleeting, but habits are everything. If you let your emotions decide your effort, you'll live a life full of good intention and zero execution. But if you let your discipline drive your behavior, even on the bad days, you'll look up one day and realize you built something unbreakable. Stop asking yourself if you're motivated. Start asking yourself if you're committed. That's the real question. Motivation fades. Discipline lasts. Discipline lasts. And discipline isn't glamorous. It's not flashy. It's not fun. It's waking up when you don't want to. It's doing the work when no one's watching. It's sacrificing what feels good right now for what you want most later. That's where growth lives. That's where transformation begins. Not in moments of hype, but in moments of hard. Every day, you're either moving forward or falling back. Every time you choose to skip the work, you're reinforcing the habit of quitting. But every time you show up, even when it's hard, even when you're not feeling it, even when your body and your mind are screaming, or not today, that's when you build something real. That's when you build mental toughness. That's when you build discipline. That's when you build the kind of mindset that doesn't need motivation because you became your own motivation. You gotta be your own fire. You gotta light yourself up from within, because sometimes there won't be a speech to hype you up. There won't be music, there won't be a crowd. There won't be someone in your ear telling you, you got this. Sometimes it's just you in the grind. And in that silence, in that loneliness, you got to decide that you're still gonna go hard. If you only grind when it feels good, you'll lose every time to the one who grinds when it doesn't. Because consistency beats intensity. One day of extreme effort can never compete with 365 days of solid, steady, relentless work. The people who are winning aren't always the most talented. They're just the ones who keep showing up. They're the ones who don't quit. They're the ones who keep swinging, keep running, keep pushing, even when it hurts. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. Take action first. Let motivation catch up later. Motion creates emotion. Progress builds momentum. The more you show up, the more natural it becomes. The more you push through, the stronger your mindset becomes. And soon you'll find that you're not waiting for motivation anymore. You become someone who moves regardless. That's the shift. That's when everything changes. When you stop negotiating with yourself. When you stop saying, I'll do it later, and you start saying, let's get it done. When you stop needing a reason and start becoming one. So wake up tomorrow and grind. Not because you feel like it, but because your dream deserves it. Because your future demands it, because you said you would. That's what separates the average from the elite. The ones who grind with or without motivation. Those are the ones who win. It's easy to say you want it. It's easy to post about goals, to talk about dreams, to tell the world you're coming for everything they said you couldn't have. But words don't mean much without follow through. Ambition is nothing without action. The truth is, most people don't like the dream. They lack the stamina. They want success, but they don't want the struggle. They want the spotlight, but they don't want to grind in the dark. You can't just start strong. You gotta stay strong. You gotta be consistent when the hype dies, when the motivation fades, when it's just you and the work. Starting is exciting. Day one always feels good. You're energized. You're inspired. You got momentum. But it's not the start that makes a champion. It's the consistency after that first rush wears off. It's What you do on day 30, day 60, day 100. When nobody's clapping, when no one's watching, when you don't feel like it, that's where winners are made. That's where you separate yourself. Everybody loves the beginning. But success is not about how fast you run out of the gate. It's about how long you can keep going when the road gets rough. The real test isn't whether you can grind when you're excited. It's whether you can grind when you're exhausted. Whether you can keep showing up when life's hitting hard. Whether you can lock in and keep going when you're not getting results right away. The grind gets lonely, the process gets quiet. And that's when most people check out. Huh? That's when they disappear. But not you. Not if you're serious. Not if you really want. You've got to be relentless. You've got to make consistency your identity. You've got to train your mind to stop needing emotions to get movie discipline in. Discipline is showing up when the feeling isn't there. Discipline is working on your dream when the world is telling you to settle. Discipline is choosing effort over ease every single day. It's not sexy. It's not fun, but it's necessary. There will be days when you don't see progress. Days when you feel stuck. Days when nothing's clicking. But you keep going. Why? Because you made a commitment. Because your purpose is greater than your pain. Because you understand that the process is slow, but the reward is worth it. You won't see the results right away. But if you stay consistent, they'll show. They always do. The grind always pays off, just not on your schedule. People ask, how do you stay so focused? The answer is simple. I don't let feelings lead. I let purpose lead. I let discipline lead. If I waited to feel ready, I'd still be waiting. If I waited for motivation, I'd never get any done. But I don't need to feel good to do good work. I don't need to be hyped to hustle. I need to remember what I said I wanted and then move toward it. Whether I'm tired, frustrated, or empty. Because that's what winners do. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. You'll mess up. You'll miss a day. You'll miss a day. You'll fall short, but you don't quit. You don't throw it all away because of one bad moment. You reset, you regroup, you refocus, and then you come back stronger. Too many people throw away months of work over one mistake. That's not disappointment, controlling your mindset. Let it go and get back to it. The grind isn't about being flawless. It's about being faithful to your purpose. Even when you fall, you don't need a new plan. You need to stick with the one you have. Stop jumping from one strategy to another. Stop chasing shortcuts. Stop restarting the clock every time it gets tough. Stay in it. Let the work compound. Let the consistency build. Because every time you show up, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, you're stacking progress. You're getting closer. You're becoming the version of yourself that can't be broken. The people at the top didn't get there overnight. They got there because they did the work daily, not occasionally, not when it felt right. Every single day. They didn't stop when it got quiet. They didn't slow down when it got hard. They stayed locked in. And that's what you got to do. Be the one who doesn't flinch. Be the one who doesn't fold. Be the one who stays when others leave. If you want to win, make consistency your standard, not your goal, your standard. Let it become who you are. Because when the days get dark and the pressure builds and everything he wants to quit, that's when your consistency will carry you. That's when your discipline will speak louder than your doubts. That's when your habits will remind you that you were built for this. So don't just start. Stay. Stay committed. Stay working. Stay moving forward, even when it's slow. Because the ones who stay consistent are the ones who rise. The road to greatness is never smooth. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, failures, and moments when everything in you wants to give up. But that's not the end of your story. That's not where you stop. That's where you rise. That's where you rise. That's where you dig. That's where you discover what you're really made of. Because every setback is an opportunity. Every failure is feedback. And every delay is preparing you for something greater than you imagine. Most people think success is a straight line. You start at the bottom and climb to the top. Simple, right? No, that's not how it works. You take 2 steps forward and get knocked 5 steps back. You lose time. You lose friends. You lose confidence. But you don't lose faith. You don't lose faith. Because you understand that the setback isn't there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. It's not punishment. It's preparation. When life hits you hard, when your plans fall apart, when you feel like everything is slipping through your hand, You've got two options: break down or break through. That's your moment. That's your choice. Anybody can stay motivated when everything's going right. Anybody can grind when the path is clear. But the real test of your character is what you do when nothing is working. When you gave your best and still came up short. When you believed and still got broken. That's when the average quit. But you're not average quit, but you're not average. You've got to stop seeing failure as final. Stop treating it like the end of the road. Failure is just a lesson. It's a signal that something needs to change. Maybe your strategy, maybe your timing, maybe your mindset, but not your dream. Don't ever let a setback make you walk away from what you were born to do. You weren't created to quit. You were created to conquer. Pain is part of the process. Rejection is part of the process. Delay, disappointment, detours. It all comes with the journey. Don't let it surprise you. Expect it. Embrace it. Use it. Because every champion, every icon, every legend, they all got knocked down. They all heard the word of no. They all had moments when they questioned if it was even worth it. But they kept going. They kept rising. They kept fighting. And that's why they made it. Don't envy people who've already arrived. Respect the grind they went through when no one saw them. Respect the nights they cried, the sacrifices they made, the times they fell and got back up. That's what greatness is made of. Grit. It's not pretty. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's powerful. When you're going through it, remember, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. You're being refined. You're being molded. You're being shaped into the version of yourself that can handle what's coming next. That detour is teaching you patience. That rejection is building your resilience. That loss is sharpening your hunger. And one day, when you're standing where you were meant to be, you'll realize every setback made you stronger. Every delay built your character. Every failure was fuel. So stop looking at what went wrong and start focusing on what's still possible. Stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. Show life you're unbreakable. Show the world you're not done yet. Because your story is still being written. And the page you're on now, the one filled with pain, struggle, and unanswered prayers. Just a chapter, not the conclusion. Bounce back harder. That's the mindset. Not if I fall, but when I fall, I rise stronger. Not I failed, but I learned, I grew, I adapted. The comeback is always greater than the setback, but only if you choose to rise, only if you get back up and refuse to stay down. Only if you let your pain push you instead of paralyze you. You don't need a perfect path. You need persistence. You don't need applause. You need endurance. You don't need a smooth journey. You need faith. Faith that what you're going through isn't the end, but the setup for your next level, Faith that all things, even the broken ones, even the delayed ones, even the disappointing ones, they're all working together for your purpose. You've already come too far to quit. You've already fought too hard to fold. You've already survived too much to stop now, so take a breath. Wipe your tears, shake off the dust, and get back in the ring. The world hasn't seen the best of you yet. Your purpose didn't disappear just because you hit a wall. That dream didn't expire just because you've been waiting longer than you expected. It's still there. It's still worth fighting for them all. So rise, not just once. Every time you fall, rise because your future is calling. Rise because your destiny depends on it. Rise because someone else is watching you, praying you don't give up. So they don't give up. This isn't the end, and you'll come back. It's going to inspire the world. You've been dreaming about it. You've been talking about it. You've been posting about it. But dreaming and talking won't get you there. At some point, you've got to take that leap. At some point, you've got to stop analyzing, stop waiting, stop doubting, and just go all in. You've got to believe in your grind so much that nothing, not fear, not failure, not opinion, can hold you back. Because greatness doesn't come to the cautious. It comes to those who decide they're willing to risk everything to get everything. Most people never go all in because they're afraid of what they might lose. They're afraid of what people will say. They're afraid of failing in public. They're afraid that the grind might be long, that the results might take time, that the sacrifice might be too heavy. And that fear keeps them stuck in the middle. Half committed, half invested, half alive, but if you live in the middle, you'll never see the top. Playing it safe has never created a legend. Playing it small has never built a legacy. If you want the life very few people have, you've got to be willing to do what very few people do. And that starts with going all in. Going all in. Going all in means there's no plan B, no backup if it gets hard, no exit when it gets uncomfortable. It means you burn the boats. It means this is the only way, and you're gonna make it happen or die trying. That's the kind of commitment success requires. Not casual effort, not conditional focus. Now I'll try. It takes obsession, it takes sacrifice. It takes waking up every day and doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. You can't keep one foot in and one foot out. You can't chase your dream with your spare energy and expect full results. You don't build empires with leftover, it's over. You don't reach your potential by treating it like a side project. You've got to be relentless. You've got to be focused. You've got to be dangerous, not to other people, but to the limitations that have been trying to hold you back your entire life. There's going to be risk. There's going to be discomfort, but there's also going to be growth. There's going to be evolution. You're going to find out who you really are. And I promise you, that version of you that shows up when you go all in, that version is powerful. That version doesn't flinch. That version doesn't second guess. That version leads. That version inspires. But you'll never meet that version if you keep playing small. You got to go through the pressure to become the diamond. You got to go through the fire to become refined. So get waiting until you're ready. You're never going to feel ready. You're never going to have perfect conditions. You're never going to eliminate every doubt. But the people who win, they move anyway. They jump while they're scared. They step into the unknown and trust the process. They walk by faith, not by sight. And you can too, if you're willing to bet on yourself. Not halfway, not sometime, every day, with everything you've got. You got to be tired of almost, tired of a one day, tired of a what if. You've got to be done with holding back, done with hesitation, done with living life on the sideline. It's your time, but time doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause until you feel bold. It moves, and if you don't move with it, you'll miss your moment. You'll watch someone else live your dream because they were willing to go all in when you were still playing safe. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm saying it's going to be worth it. I'm saying that every time you choose courage over comfort, you grow. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you evolve. Every time you say yes to the grind and a no to the excuses, you get closer to the light that's waiting on the other side of your fear. You don't need more time. You need more commitment. You don't need more advice. You need more action. You don't need more followers. You need more faith.